the best thing that ReZero has going for it is the fact that it has such smooth transitions from happy-go-lucky, lighthearted atmospheres to super dark, super serious, deathy, bloody, gory atmospheres. Also, this episode we saw the killer. Yup, we saw the fucking killer. Rem. That is who it is. I was not expecting this. To be honest, I had been hoping or even expecting it to be Ram, the pink-haired sister, the pink-haired maid. ReZero fucks with my mind, and it just did it again. Last episode, that after credits scene fucked with my mind. And now this? Oh my god. They had implied, when Subaru had first woken up in the mansion and everything, the first time he had died and everything, it was before that Ram was the killer, because she was watching Subaru, watching to see if he was a spy, and it was kind of implied that she was that. But of course, they implied that one sister did it, when in actuality, it's the other sister. And we also come to find out that either Ram is helping her, she's not involved, or Rem knows magic. And I say this because Rem might be a shaman. Subaru noticed that he had physical weakness, which caused him to basically throw up and everything, which weakened him so he could be attacked by the ball and chain, which had eventually crushed his head after tearing off his arm, which was disturbing, by the way. He noticed it was physical weakness, so he asked Betty, who has this knowledge of so many thousands upon thousands of books, forbidden knowledge on some part of that. She's this noble being who is either a vampire, a spirit, a god, a demon that's contracted to protect the library. And we come to find out that since she knows all this knowledge, she opened up a book and everything after answering Subaru's question if there's a magic that can weaken someone physically. Shamans, which are a subclass of magic users and spiritual users, can cast these spells. It's basically like a curse, almost. So Rem most likely cursed Subaru those 2 times, and he died in his sleep the first time by choking on his own throw-up and everything, and then the second time she had to kill him because he got out of his room. So it wasn't poison, it was more of a curse. So if Rem didn't cast it, maybe Ram had, or there might be a person we don't know of that's in this mansion, someone that's always in the shadows, or even Rosewall could know it because he's the greatest magician in all of Blue Gunica. He has all this forbidden knowledge, which are a lot of magic books and everything, in his library that Betty is guarding. And it also kind of confirms in this episode that Rem and Ram are not human. They are not human. I mean, Rem and Ram, they're maids and everything, and they're tiny-ish, kind of, compared to Subaru. Not super, super tiny, just more of... They're not very strong, that's what they look like. They're not very intimidating. But Lighting has shown us time and again that they can look intimidating, and it's just like, who killed him? Who killed him? So you already had your sights set on the sisters, but it was more focused on Ram, the pink-haired one. But with the revelation that it was Rem after she tried to kill him with the ball and chain and everything this episode at the very end, they might not be human, because Ram was listening to Subaru tell a tale about a red and blue ogre, and she was reacting to it like it was a personal experience for her. And last episode, Rem had mentioned devils or demons, and Subaru doesn't mind demons. He's like, I'm glad they're demons. There's demons because they'll laugh along with you and everything and when you tell your life experience, when gods don't do nothing. So here's the thing. I had mentioned in a previous review, demons just basically are a classification for all types of monsters, so to say, that we humans classify. You could have werewolves, demon! You have vampires, demon! And you have ogres, demon! Because we don't like to classify them in their own species some of the times. We're too afraid. It's a fear classification. So, are they actually ogres? Their own species? Are they ogres? Because we know in this world, there is more than just humans. We have dragons, because Subaru read a tale about a dragon who had made a contract with the royal family to protect the land and ensure the royal family is always ruling. But with the ruling family dying off now, nobody knows what the dragon wants. And it's true, because apparently there's a dragon and everything, but hiding behind this waterfall protecting land, which, by the way, I want to see in this series. I want to see the dragon. I fucking love dragons. But you have all these fairy tales, and then Subaru even reads out the whole ogre thing. So there's ogres, there's dragons, we have demi-humans, we have magic users, which would be typically called witches in our world. You have spirits. So what's to say there isn't demons? We know there's probably gods in this world, because it's a fantasy world, and we know there's probably devils or demons. So it's kind of obvious at this point. But I wonder, is it a magic they're using to disguise their features? Does Master Rosewall know? There's a lot that I am very curious about. That is another thing that Studio White Fox does with this episode. Well, not just this episode, the series. Well, 6 episodes in, I'm already caught up, but you can definitely tell the smooth transitions, the mysteries, the characters, the music, the animation, all of it is top-notch for the series. And the animation just kicks up a notch when you have all this action or extreme forms of movement. But their smooth transitions and their mysteries are definitely top-notch for this. Like, all of it is good, but they reign supreme. Something they did mention, that Ram mentioned, is the ogres should have broken off their horns, hid themselves among the humans, and made friends that way. So you wouldn't have to sacrifice a friendship for another friendship. So does that imply that Rem and Ram broke off their horns and became maids for Master Rosewall? Did he cast magic on them so they looked humans, or did they cast magic on themselves? And if they can't cast magic, does that mean Betty or Rosewall can cast that physical weakness magic on Subaru? We don't know. That's the point. We don't know who casted the magic, but we know Rem is trying to kill him. We don't know her motives yet, unless it was maybe it's an order by Master Rosewall, or maybe it's something she decided to do herself. I doubt it would be Ram who ordered it or something like that, because Ram's technically the older sister, but she's the useless one. Because Ram seems to connect a little bit with Subaru in this episode, so Rem has no connection whatsoever to Subaru. I'm really curious. Does she work with that faction that wants to gain the ruler candidacy, but since Subaru is involved with saving Satella and everything and getting back the insignia, she wants to take out some revenge on him? We don't know. I gotta say, I talked a little bit about the advantages of Returns by Death, Subaru's ability, but you know how he was reading and writing and learning how to study and all that, and learning the language? That is very, very fucking useful, because once he actually can read and write, he can read the fairy tale books now. At least it's a very basic language that he was able to read, but now he's gonna get more advanced. As he dies and he retains the memory, he can study harder and harder stuff with each new life, because he knows the basics, or he knows from what his previous life has done. It's the same with his knife, it's the same with all stuff, like cutting hedges and all that. He's learning repeatedly. He's getting more and more advanced stuff, so it comes back to help him in his next life. I'm glad it doesn't basically reset his whole stats and everything and his whole memory, that he actually can retain his physical memory of doing all that, his actual memory. And I do gotta admit, I saw something funny. Subaru is the protagonist of Dark Souls. That is so fucking true. You die so many times to learn the boss's moves, to learn the enemy's moves. I really, really fucking respect Subaru, because in this episode, he realizes with his Returns by Death ability, it might be he dies 3 times and then figures out the killer by the 4th, but even so, he doesn't want to throw away his life. He doesn't want that 3rd life to be meaningless, because he dies on the 4th night, and this is his 3rd life. He doesn't want it to be meaningless, but he also doesn't want his friends to die. He doesn't want the maids, he doesn't want Betty, he doesn't want Satella to die. So he's weighing friendship, he's weighing their lives against his own, and he's always choosing their lives before his own. He wants to save himself, but he wants to save them more than he does himself. So, mad fucking respect to Subaru for that. Mad fucking respect. I can't wait for next episode. I am so fucking hyped, and I'm glad I got caught up. Now that the episode will drop in a couple of hours, I will have a review out for that tonight. So, be sure to leave your comments down in the description below. Do not spoil anything. If you are a light novel or manga reader, just answer some of my questions, but if there's spoilers, don't, okay? Until you can answer them a couple weeks later once we have those answers in the anime form, but for now, just don't spoil anything, guys. I am so glad I started watching Re:Zero, and now that I'm caught up, it feels so good, but I'm also going to hate it because now I have to wait a week between each episode. Kill me! At least it's 25 episodes, but... Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out the links down in the description where you can go and add me on Twitter and Facebook. Go check out Re:Zero Episode 6. Episode 7 drops in a couple of hours. Have a good one. Watch lots of anime, read lots of manga. Bye-bye, guys.